the kids, oh,
Those kids.
Okay.
We're ready.
Thank you very much. I think all protocol respected. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, our pastor here. And I'm glad to see Rod. After a while, they traveled to Europe and they met some good friends. They see me on Facebook. They say, oh, do you know Rod? Do you know Jane? When you get to Manhattan, say hi to them. Get connected. So at least today we can update on what is happening. I know through Crew I got some 3 sample Bibles which were really very useful for me in Cameroon. That's why we're here. So just present briefly about the Cameroon Bible Project. I'll not go to all the details. We were here working on our Fulbright project. These are the 27 people who are selected from Africa, 2016, 2017 in the different parts of the U.S. So part of it is to sell the image of the different states and towns where we went to, try to talk to them about what we saw, good or bad, we try to improve upon. This is the main person who manages Fulbright in Cameroon. So at least I'm always very grateful because based on the Cameroonian criteria, I would never have been here. Yes, but the rule of the game is to get people from all backgrounds, from all cultures. So I think if I've been able to come, as well as some other Cameroonians from the minority groups, I think we really need to be appreciative. So this is a cultural affairs officer at the American Embassy, and these are groups of new scholars that will be coming soon to the U.S. Some of them that I've had to mentor them, tell them it's a good place you are going to. You're going to have some good people talk to you and be friendly to you, and we come back together to build a good community. And in general, I think we appreciate churches have been of great help to many of our scholars. So during my time here, I've been with Bob, as you can see, first to the last, I've always been with him. And we share issues about our family. This is my mother in front of our family church. I'm sorry the whole building didn't come out here, but that is how a village church can look like in Cameroon. That is where I grew up. Yes, and this is what, from my age like 3, 4, we were trying to build up to where it is today, to make sure that community should have a church. Robin is not here, but when we see the father, we know that she's part of the group. So we have always been praying together all the Sundays. Actually, this one was in Grace, in the fellowship hall that we attended.
I see Andrew.
Yeah.
Benjamin.
Yeah, a lot of people we used to share.
Terry in the red shirt?
Yes, Terry, Andrew, Benjamin. You can see...
The person that's got the blue shirt and the black hair is probably Chinese.
Oh, there's no Chinese, there's Benjamin. So we used to talk a lot of stories about God in Cameroon, about my experiences, talk about how I look at Israel, do a lot of good things. Oh, I didn't put you there, but I'm sorry. No, we were together we spent long days in Missouri.
Ben was in the canoe right next to us. Do you remember that?
I was in the canoe right next to you.
With I think all of his kids. Weren't all of them there?
I think we had
5 out of 6.
I think we
anyway.
had 7 people in that canoe. Yes, we did. So.
Yeah, I think I appreciated what happened in Missouri because I got together with many good people and shared views and understood other parts. And we sang together, patriotic sing, learn how to be more patriotic. So the end of it was to bring up something we can do together. And then this group that we came together to talk about the initiative of having Bible project in Cameroon was all accepted. Can see everybody smiling, which means it was good, but we needed to fulfill some conditions, which have stayed home. It's true there were challenges, but I've tried to bring up some solutions to them, maybe not all. This is the team that is working in Cameroon. From my left to the right, you have Pastor Hyson. Fanka, you have Pastor Maurice Kongnu, who is presently the president, who's leading this team. As I finish my presentation, he takes over. I'm a scholar, I need to do other things. It's not like I'm abandoning it. We are working the team, but he is now the boss. You have the other pastors. This is the secretary general, the person next to the lady, and the last person is my elder brother, the person I follow directly. Been working about a decade as a volunteer pastor, so he's one of those who are working on this project. So this was the first group that came together, thought about it before calling the other pastors together to think about it and to see what to do. So, like I said, this is an address for anybody who will need. Because after we finish this, you want to talk about the Bible project in Cameroon, I don't know, whatever. You need to get to the pastor, who is the president, and to discuss with him so that you see in which best way you can contribute. So we devise some means so that all the mismanagement you hear in Africa should not be our part, so that money doesn't touch anybody. Another means is because of the terrorism we are having in our country, you don't get to receive money. So the means is to go through Nigeria. All money you are to give in cash can only go through Nigeria, and we receive only Bibles. Anybody who gets us, we see the Bibles. We have permission from Cameroon government to move with our Bibles, to share with them, so long as we remain only in that context. Any other thing, we need another rule and regulation. So we're trying to do this not to be expensive to those with whom we are talking, no cost to any church for now. We have not asked anybody to contribute a dime, whether for us to travel, for any administrative cost. Either I bear it or the president. Because there's something we call it a white elephant. There are white elephant projects where you can spend more than what you get. And these are issues we want to avoid. So nobody should, if there's anything coming up in this way, you should know it cannot be correct, because we have never announced anywhere. I know a church called me to ask how can they assist me. I say in prayers. They can assist us to pray that the project should succeed. The day we need money, we'll tell them. We want somebody to contribute in prayers and in ideas, not money. So this is the day we went to the Bible Society of Nigeria to talk with them, and we're impressed. It's a very big organization, and they give out millions of Bibles a year, maybe with some compensation, because Bible societies are not actually money making. All the students in Nigeria, they need to use a particular Revised Standard Versions that is printed by this organization. So it's really a big organization, and they are happy to make it I don't know whether assistance, so that it should be cost effective. Because if they sell to us like in the market, it may still be like wasting our resources. So they say a little bit above $2 or so, just $2, less than $2.5. They can give us a Bible. They have about 7 main versions that they give in mass supply. But we can give some commands, different languages, and that way it may be coming in small quantities and maybe more expensive. So just to show you how the Cameroon context look like, a church may just be like a small one, maybe just 2-3 families come together, or a very big church like that one. So in the villages, you may see a lot of big churches. And these ones are like family churches whereby you are born in this church, you only go there. Yeah, whether they are good or bad, you only continue there. So that's what actually happens. In the cities, people grow up and select that they can go for or against what their parents selected. In the villages, it's my family property, something like that. So while waiting for this official launching and seeing support, it's a good requirement that you should do something yourself, understand how it will work, see whether what you are doing can be correct or not. So I've been distributing a couple of Bibles in Cameroon as my own initiative, so that when we are discussing about things to do, I know what is doable and I know what is not doable. It's true, some of the areas have been war-torn, so you don't move a lot. So transportation takes most of what maybe I've set aside. But because it's not like a continuous war in Cameroon, it's like some weeks can be shut down. no telephone, nothing. And some other days you can move. So I try to move when it is safe. Yes, so.
So Divine, I had a question.
Yeah.
Do you, so these churches, are they, is the preaching in English or in their regional dialect?
In my area, people don't use the dialect as means of communication. Because as times go on, people move. You know, there are 250 tribes in Cameroon, which means they are very small units. So to get quality education, jobs, and the rest, you may need to move out. Moving out at the age of 10 to 20 means you actually become a man elsewhere. And then you finally get married that way. And so the kids grew up not speaking what you spoke or your wife spoke. At the age of 2 or 3, they will learn good morning and utter some words in one of the dialects. So that is where I support a Bible distribution and not Bible translation.
So,
Because, like all my my 2 sisters, my 3 brothers, nobody is married to my tribe, which means they don't greet the couples, the partners in the dialect, neither do they talk to the kids in the
so are
dialect.
they reading an English Bible then?
French will come up, definitely, depending on what effort we put ahead. Because if they were to give me $100 today, I don't see how I will spend it on 2 different languages. It's for us to say, yes, Cameroon is more of French. You stay in Cambe, which is, I'm 30 miles from Nigeria. So you see transportation now today, where there are more French people, it will need like $20 for me to get there. And maybe I will not know too many people, and I will need now those facilities.
So you say the Bibles might be French if you're in that.
Depending on what is available. If the means is much, I think French is definitely. So we have like people in this team. I stay in the French zone. There are people there who stay in the French zone. We are just looking at if there's a condition attached to the money, do this first, do this like this. We see, because my idea is more open. My idea is more open. There are many of us who live in Douala, Yaoundé. That is about, each town is about 2 million people where they use French. But those they preach to, they understand English very well and they can appreciate. So if we get in terms of percentage, I will want it to be respected, English and French. But the Nigerian Bible Society say they give that price for cartoons. So it's not like counting one Bible. So we were to get maybe 10 cartoons, definitely we get some of the cartoons in French.
And then I had a question about the English Bible that is used. Is it King James or some other translation in the churches?
Oh, that decision, I am not the best to decide. The person paying for the Bibles can say, no, I paid only for King James. Because there's King James, Revised Standard, and NIV, and Good News. In Cameroon, the Presbyterian use more of Good News. The Baptists use more of NIV. Like what you regularly see on pulpit, the Baptists will use NIV. The Presbyterian, Good News, the Pentecostals, King James. And so Revised Standard is like in the middle, somewhere. So if the person paying say, I paid only for Revised Standard, okay. The person who takes it good. If a particular church also said, look inside whether you will see King James Version and give me. I look, if I don't see, I say, oh, I'm sorry, sir. So I think people are reading to go to heaven. I don't have conditions.
And Divine's being very courteous to suggest that the West is going to control what translation we're going to purchase. At the moment, the money's going through Impact Foundation, and we are not going to control what translation. If some church comes along and says, I'm only paying for NIV, I'm going to be like, there's probably a lot of other projects that are worthy of your money.
So in Africa, it can be a whole issue. Because like I say, if you enter some churches without King James, they'll consider that you are not having a Bible. Now, this project, the way it was first designed, was priority for people who are really poor, When I talk poverty, it can be pockets of poverty in the city or real general poverty in the rural area. So some of the issues that people do to reduce this acute lack of Bibles is using Android phones. Now there's some information circulating in Cameroon that those apps had removed some verses. I'm not too good about that. I'm not too good. I don't know what it is, but I just know that those are some of the means we are trying to reduce the acute lack of Bibles. Those who own Android phones, when it comes from China, it's really cheap. So some people can afford a little bit above 10,000 francs. You can get an Android phone. These categories of people with phones already, if they really want to meditate, I think they can open it on their phones. It's free. So all these initiatives were considered.
Last night you told us the literacy rate, and it was much higher than I thought in Cameroon.
Yeah.
What is that, the literacy rate?
I don't know what the figures are, but the problem is when you live like from my own area where there's no other thing you can do apart from going to school. Because the first fact I went to school to this level because no other thing I could do, no alternative. The literacy rate would definitely be higher compared to areas where they have alternatives. Like in the English zone, I'm from the grassland, no other thing you can do. When you get now to the forest, that's Buya in the southwest, you can work in the banana farm. So if you beat a child in school, flog a child, you definitely throw you when going to work. So, and when you go to the north, it's worst. The north has an issue like by maybe a religion, Islam, you're not supposed to, girls not supposed to go to school, so maybe 13 you are already somewhere. So if you look about general, you may be very far. In my community, everybody below 30 should read, even if he cannot understand much. So with the NIV, to the best of my knowledge, it's a law that you should go to school till the age of 16.
That's what you're saying. But
So-
that's not the whole country necessarily.
Who pays for your education?
By rule, education is free in Cameroon to the age of about 16, which means they can ask you for $2. You go to school a whole year, you buy what you wear and things like that. So most schools are made in such a way that the poor can acquire the basic just to read and write. Yes. It's around the age of 14, 15, a child may like a particular school, and if you want to do like dormitory schools, it may be a bit heavy. You can pay more than $1,000 a year. So only some categories of people can afford. But for the basics of what we are talking, whether they will read it, I think people below 30, everybody. And we're talking in a country where the median age is 19, which means I'm really old person. So the situation we're dealing with, people who are like 50 and above, who are not able to read, they have children above 30, since you deliver early, and then they can assist them read, if they would actually love it. Like your grandpa can keep it by himself, say, okay.
So, Divine, do people who have Android phones, do they have data that they can get the, I guess they could put an actual Bible in the phone itself then? Is that what you're saying? That they
Yes.
don't need data to
You just,
look at like BibleGateway.com?
I don't know how it happens in America because there may be control on a lot of softwares, but in Africa, you just download it into your phone once. And the way they make it with 20 cents, you can already get enough data to download a number of Bibles and even exchange it with a key. Yeah.
Wow. And when system, or no, that's the way it is in Kenya, is why I'm asking. Their bank account is connected with their phone,
Yeah, okay.
so the phones are free or very inexpensive?
Oh, in Cameroon, there are two reasons. More than 80% of the phones we use are Chinese. So you hardly, this is a second-handed American phone that I got, but most people use Chinese phones. That's why somebody can use 4 phones in a year. So with the Chinese, anything is inside. So they are very affordable because you can use 2 months, 3 months. Then we are talking about mobile money, what we call mobile money in Cameroon. Like me, my bank account is controlled from this phone. As I sit here, I can pretty much buy anything in Cameroon, send money to families from this phone. So those are some of the things, like when we'll be operating the Bible project across for people from some towns to assist others far off, that is the method they may have to use. Because if you have to go and pay some amount somewhere and things, may be expensive. So mobile money is also very appropriate in our context today. You can send somebody $1. Yeah.
So Divine, most of us in America have stopped carrying Bibles to church. Mary was just yelling.
Wonderful.
Mary was just complaining to her eldest son about this. You need to carry a Bible. Nobody carries a Bible anymore. And I guess probably the direction Rod was going was, if you can get a Bible on your phone,
Yeah.
why do you need a hard copy?
The way we designed it from the beginning, there are millions of people who don't have the money for these Android phones. Even if it's $10, it doesn't mean all Cameroonians can afford. Yes. And like if we can have enough, we can still say, okay, we encourage you to carry, but if we are not to have enough, we can say, okay, brother, you have it on your phone, can you give it first to those who can't have it? Like the story of a community in the Northwest, I used to follow that pastor online, very pathetic stories. So he told me a woman will work 4 buckets of beans a year and will give up 1 in order to buy a Bible. So I may not be from womb, but I can see like that community is a bit poorer than my own community. Yes. So these are the activities I think those donating their money can like verify about some of the maps and maybe direct their donations to a direction, or the pastors on the ground should be good enough to use some good methods. With the communication now that phones can go, this can go, we have not actually set the criteria, but we are trying to do our job as good as possible, so that tomorrow we can be accountable to God.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we are trying to set up all these criteria well written, because the reporting should not be like, wow, we just shared the Bibles. They should explain to the committee the criteria they want to use, and they get some approval. That is, I think. I know you're doing work in evaluation. These things become very important. Yeah. So I guess it will take some 2-3 months before the Bibles, or more, before we actually get the Bibles. But the task I'm giving them is to get these criteria well written. It may vary from areas, but something like this is what we think. I know some churches in Cameroon like offer each child who goes for baptism a Bible as their own gift. Either you go for baptism or for a wedding in church, you get that gift, which is still a luxury because most of them, that's their first Bible. So all of this, I've actually offered people Bibles for their baptism. Yeah. So I continue thinking about that. So we have 3 means by reaching people. One is by WhatsApp. We get connected. Like many people I've talked to, when you agree, I try to add you up. So I have 100 people on WhatsApp, which I'm a moderator. The president is one of the moderators. The vice president is one. And another girl, she has gone to school. She has moved all over Cameroon. So she's not one of the 15 members on board, but we appreciate she may have a good reasoning faculty. So we put her as one of the moderators. If you put something to the group which is not appropriate, the moderator will remove it. Or he has to authorize something before it enters. WhatsApp, Facebook, the same. We have 4 moderators. But on WhatsApp, we have fewer because numbers are more confidential. While on Facebook, in Cameroon, generally, the name that is online may not be your name. So I get more people on Facebook, like 850, and these people are found all over the world. More of Cameroon, US, UK, Dubai, and South Africa. There are other people who are not Cameroonians, but who are listening, they are pastors and trying to, they can ask us questions and try to appreciate things that are correct, things that are, we need to do them. So in summary, this is what we have done. We say that we have these people who are willing to get our ideas, and we should think together and see if we have things that I thought which we can thin down, because my ideas are more open. We cannot try to thin it down to something, or we allow the latitude of the pastors in Cameroon to look at it. That's what I was trying to share. Thank you very much.
So, my one other question, is this committee gonna be the one that would contact the people in Nigeria to buy the Bibles from them? And then the committee would, see how to ship them across the border? How would that happen?
Okay, I travel with the vice president,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe a lot in sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, you are full pastor, which means every day
Mm-hmm.
you are the one managing people in church, doing this. So gradually I know I will move away for this committee
Mm-hmm.
to do their job. So you have the responsibility to pass across any updates. So he has their email and things, stuff like that, and he updates them. As I'm here like that, he has the responsibility to inform them. And last time, I think they said they are happy, the project is moving ahead, because we went there before the approval by the government. So once we have any funds, definitely will be by bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think an organized group should work by bank accounts. They will appreciate. We like, how do they call it in English again? I don't remember again the word, but it's like you will say you have this much for those Bibles,
Mm-hmm.
and then we connect you with the Bible Society in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
They will give you their account. They say they don't give. In Africa, it may be possible to use your money if I know only the account. I don't know how it works. So they say they will not give us their account. The money is available, and they want to put it in for Bibles. We'll email them, we'll give you the account, you put the money there. And like you are talking about shipment to Cameroon, it's not like two different countries as such. Like I said, I'm not far from Nigeria, so it's just like passing the Bibles across, and it's by land.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have already contacted somebody who works with the custom by land, and by Cameroon law that permit to do work with Bibles may permit us not to maybe pay something. It can be free of charge because we have legalized that we are doing like volunteerism in Cameroon. So depending on the custom officer who meets us, he may either ask something so small or nothing, because it's declared that we are not selling them. And one of the things we may do is to hand your own copy. If you think we are passing across to go do something, you open it, we give you your own copy. Yeah, so the person will appreciate that truly it was not for sale.
So it sounds like the president of that committee, he would be the person making contact with the Nigerian Bible sellers, is that right?
Yeah.
Transferring the money to that account?
No, he will not touch any money
Mm-hmm.
for transparency reasons and many other things. If they heard that in Cameroon somebody is sleeping with $2,000
Mm-hmm.
and something happens to his family, will be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So he doesn't see money.
Mm-hmm.
Money only goes to Nigeria, and he's a pastor, he sees Bibles.
Mm-hmm. And who is the one that makes the connection to?
I travel with the assistant president, so he has the email. So I think the committee is working together.
I see. Okay.
Because the best of what I try to do is like, okay, my job is to show people, connect people, and the rest of the activities, the main people running the activities, my government will appreciate if you have your passport showing pastor, right? Your ID card showing pastor. It will give you more leeway to pass across anything you want to do. So the 15-man committee, I think a minimum of 12 or 13 should be pastors in their churches. They are ladies who are pastors' wives or church leaders. Because I always make sure we should put some ladies.
Mm-hmm.
They should be part of the leadership. So we want that those who will be working, their ID card should show pastor for administrative purposes. We are just behind helping them. So there's a professor who is really part of this team, but he's not in the 15-man delegation. There's also a director in the government who is part of it, but he's not in the 15-man delegation. So we are hundreds behind, giving ideas, but the 15-man should be real pastors doing the work. And most of them, some of them have been trained here. One has been for about 15 years, somewhere around New York, going up. I don't remember the town. Another person has been in Kentucky. I think Pastor Bill might have taught him also. So in this board, we have a good number of pastors who have actually done international projects, and like Pastor Reverend Sam Jato, his church here in America helped him to construct a very big church in Cameroon. And I think they assisted him with allowances for a long time. I think he should have a radio station and all of that. So a project like this, I don't want to just be like, I'm happy doing it. You should also know doing it. Yeah. So.
You're the idea man. You're the dream.
Yeah.
And God gives you the dream.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of them, I think they know, they're following our pastor, they install online, they know things are happening. One or two of them should be his friends already. Maybe he doesn't quite remember much, but so there's some level of connection. Some level of connection already.
When the Bible's changed the heart of the people, maybe there's some peace that can be had.
Yeah.
It's only reading it can you change.
That's the hope.
So we can say hi to the pastors.
Yes.
Ben Claire,
Hello.
Bob, yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
God bless you.
God
Yeah.
bless
God
you.
bless you.
So I can stop it.